What's a secret you can't tell someone you know, but can share with Reddit? I have a pretty common name, but there's somehow only two people in my whole company with it. Me and the head of our. I am a much lower level employee, so most other people don't even know I exist. They just get told to send something to first name and choose the first one that comes up, which is me. I get a lot of things intended for her, and as a result know way more than I should about other employees. ETA, as nosy as I am, unfortunately it's never anything that interesting and usually pretty depressing. She doesn't actually handle anything pay-related, so it's mostly questions about benefits and PTO, and will often include details about why those things are needed at the moment. But it's strange that a handful of people I've never met, and my only impression of them is the random email they sent me about their family troubles once. My name was not that similar to the CFO, but we have the same initials. The head of HR sent me a spreadsheet of everyone's vacation sick balance. Next to each column was the sum total, a little division, and I knew what everyone made, even her. About 100 employees. Thanks, Erin. My wife works for a small company of 35 people. Someone literally printed out an 11 times 17 that showed everyone's salary and Christmas bonus. They literally just let it sit on the printer for hours, so she discreetly copied it and brought it home. The executive board gave themselves $50,000 bonus while most staff got like $3,000. The lowest level intern got $500. The thing is, they printed it again like a week later with one change. The intern got zero bonus and one of the principals got $50,500. This employee wasn't bad. They were just right out of college. I knew them too from going to company events and I got super pissed about it. I lost a lot of respect for those people when I saw that. Scumbags. Also had this happen years ago. I actually got written up for opening the email, which was sent to me, because I should have known it wasn't supposed to be sent to me. As a chronically nosy person, this is my dream. My boss might be in the last stages of dying of cancer, and I'm aggressively trying to find a new job, which may result in me quitting while she's on her deathbed. She's been working through the whole struggle and continues to try even now. Her bosses don't seem to have any interest in encouraging her to stop. I feel bad. I respect her a lot, but hate that company. Hey, as someone that has lost of people in their life, give her a heartfelt gift. I've lost co-workers, family, best friends, so many people for every reason you can think of. Drew the death lottery ticket for my life. As much as you need to do. What you need to do ... and no one will blame you for that, but you don't want to look back and feel like a shithead. Take it from me, lol. Good advice. Shed really appreciate this. Your observation is correct. The company will have her job posted before her body is cold. If they live up to their shit standards, they'll have her train her replacement and then fire her. She likes me. I like her, and given she's probably not going to stop working until she literally can't anymore, I hate the idea of putting this stress on her in this moment. But also, I've got to get out of there, and a good opportunity is in front of me right now. Health insurance. And any type of pension. Shocked the shit out of me when I realized no one cares about anyone. I anonymously reported that my boss, who is the dean of a prestigious university, was being inappropriate with me. And they not only found out it was me who accused him, but informed him of this very thing. Having everyone find this information out almost ruined my life, and when the evidence was verified, he was asked to leave and he was a very loved dean. That sounds lawsuit worthy. Your identity should have been protected. I'm sure you know that. Lol. But damn, I'm hoping the college faces consequences for that. Call a law firm, they usually do free consults, and tell them this. You could be entitled to compensation BC. That sounds like retaliation. It is incredible how often leadership covers each other. This is not just retaliation. Hostile work environment, sexual harassment. You could probably push gender discrimination. Whatever the right answer is, this situation was very wrong. I got a 10,000 raise today. I've only told my husband. A lot of folks around me are really struggling, so I would be an asshole if I shared that with anyone else. But I'm secretly proud of myself. My job requires occasional travel, but business has slowed dramatically lately. To appear busier than I actually am. I'll sometimes schedule trips and then spend my days at the movies after attending just one meeting, if that. A couple weeks ago, I saw 3 movies in a single day. It's my dream scenario, though I know this can't last forever. All I want to do is go to the movies. Sounds like George Costanza. My daughter found out 2 weeks ago. She is expecting twins. One of them was measuring smaller than the other. And tomorrow is a follow-up to see how things are going. I really want a safe outcome and happy babies and don't want my kid to go through a loss. So I'm asking all of you for whatever intentions you can send an internet grandma stranger. Edit, I am not sure if those who have commented will see this, but my daughter just called and twin B did not have a heartbeat and has already shown signs of miscarrying. The good news is that twin A is healthy and strong so far. My daughter is upset, but was prepared for bad news and is delighted to have a second baby on the way. Thank you for everyone for your kind words and stories of encouragement. It would have been so cool to have twins, but we are so grateful for one healthy baby to join our crazy family. I had twins, and one was smaller and one was bigger in utero, and they still are that way, many happy and healthy years later. Thank you for sharing this. I found out at 6 weeks I was having twins and one was smaller. Next appointment, both were still there with strong heartbeats. They were fraternal, and I think they just implanted at different times. How far along is she? Do they have their own placentas? 2 weeks ago, one measured 8 weeks with a strong heartbeat and the other 7 with a slower heartbeat, 120 BPM. That itself can be normal, but they were hoping for higher. Own placentas, yes. They are fraternal and they do suspect separate implantation. She suffered a loss before her son, who is 10 months now. She is so logical and pragmatic, but I know she's worried. Sent ye a very wee prayer from Scotland. Keep the faith. Might seem minor, but I was awarded a grant at school that not only pays me $25,000 direct deposit, but also gives me access to extra training and resources to help me learn about the exact population I want to work with in mental health counseling. I can't tell anyone other than my husband because if my friends at my program knew, it would cause a big rift. It was a really coveted grant, and a lot of my friends are really upset that they didn't get selected. That's not minor at all. Congratulations. That sounds absolutely amazing. Congratulations. But what you write about your friends should give you something to think about. Real friends would still differentiate their own disappointment and be happy for you. When I'm friends with someone, I wish them all the best in the world and give them that too. Sometimes, when I get really down, you'll go to small local artist shows or find their work online and secretly buy way more than I need. I never tell them who I am. I just want them to feel like someone out there actually values their art. Watching their excitement when they post about a random big sale makes me smile in ways I can't explain. You are a wonderful person. I paid gift and all the party supplies and made a cake for my friend's birthday party, but she thinks it was from our whole friend group. Nobody else was planning anything, so I did, and I assumed they would pay me back, but they did not. I can't tell my friend so she doesn't feel the other friends won't care or that I am bragging. She was really touched by how much everyone had done for her, but I know they do actually love B. The way they speak of her. They are just kind of cheap and don't even celebrate their own birthdays. I am the unpopular one of the group. You're the best friend she has. Literally, this exact same situation happened to me this past year. I eventually did tell one person in the friend group about the situation, but she was also the one I told originally not to worry about paying me back. Everyone else was supposed to. They never did. I'm not friends with them anymore. ETA, typos galore, hoops. My ex-wife's boyfriend is a better dad to my 2 boys than I was. I haven't seen them in years, but I went to court to try and get visitation. Got denied and relapsed not too long after. My parents and family keep saying they can't wait for me to be with them again, but I don't want to screw them up by not staying sober. I'm proud of you for realizing that. They deserve to know a sober you. You deserve to keep a sober you. Thank you for saying that. You'll reach sobriety. Your mind is in the right place. We all fall off of the wagon and have the opportunity to get back on it. Even sending a card to show you're thinking of them would mean a lot, I'm sure. Best of luck in your sobriety. You can do it. Do not let one setback stop you. It is okay to start over more than once. It doesn't make you a lesser person. Addiction is full of failures and takes an incredible strength to overcome. My only relative is my brother, a mental patient in a nursing home. He calls me constantly, especially if I don't answer, 10 to 15 times a day. He calls it just checking in and asks how I am doing. How I am doing is bad. I am dealing with crushing financial issues and physical pain and depression and failure, and a dying car and a very cluttered house I don't have the strength to fix. and a whole lot of bad stuff. I don't want to talk to him. I can't tell him how I feel because he just gets angry that his problems aren't a bigger deal. He can't help anyway. There's no empathy. He is cold as ice to me. Example, if I feel sick and need to stay in bed, he will demand to know who will bring him snacks every few days. When I offer to have things delivered, he refuses. When I had bad COVID and was afraid of not surviving, he was not concerned with that. He wanted his debit card so he could buy things. Somehow. No concern if I would be okay or not. He has good parts. He isn't always like this. He isn't a bad person, and it's not his fault he has an illness and has to live where he is. All he does, calling me constantly to ask how I'm doing when he doesn't care at all, is remind me how much I hate myself. Even if I set aside my issues in a little compartment and just manage to cope for a while, there he is calling again, wanting to check and remind me I am not coping. And that's the only relative I have. Nobody else cares. And he doesn't care. I don't even have any place to just vent about how bad I feel. No, of course. Nobody owes me anything, and they're not supposed to care. I get that. I am supposed to just deal with my own problems like everybody else. Just a little note from someone in the field. Depending on the type of care he receives, you can tell them that you only want to be contacted X amount of times or X amount of days a week. They can then work with him to limit the calls. And remember when he can talk to you. Of course, it falls on you to ignore calls outside of the designated hours and enforce the boundary. If that's not an option, perhaps blocking him until you are prepared to speak with him would help. Then once you've talked, you can block him again. Until the next time. You gotta prioritize yourself sometimes. Unfortunately, this mental illness isn't just. I'm sad. Many don't fully grasp reality, and even with all the medications and help, the brain can be awful and self-destructive to the point where the patient really thinks everything is pleasant and normal, while freaking out. The fact that he has an illness does not mean that you have to do everything he wants. I suspect his doctors would tell you that setting a boundary with him, e.g., one call a day, would actually help his treatment. Before you set the boundary, tell his carers that you're going to do it because his constant calls are endangering your job. Block him except for a set time each day, the time you usually feel strongest. That's the first step. Then wean him off daily calls to twice weekly. He's being cared for. He doesn't need this constant contact. He just wants it. Yes, he'll hate being cut back. He'll abuse you. Too bad. If he does, hang up. You are worth protecting. I suspect that if you weren't being dragged down by his situation over and over and over again every day, you might have more energy and optimism, and that will make it easier to cope with what's happening. Wishing you all the best. I hope you decide to take a vacation from him. He sounds exhausting. Beyond exhausting. He's sucking the life out of you, and it doesn't actually make any difference to him. He's not better for having constant access to you. He won't be worse if you take a big break from him. You, Odo, need space, quiet, calm. Tell him you're going on a meditation retreat where you can't phone or text for X number of days. Then just mute his calls. Go on a retreat if you can. And when you get back, tell him you can only talk to him once a day between 9 and 10 a.m. Or whatever frequency works for you. Just mute him. Let him be upset. Nothing you can do can fix him or make him happy. Stop lighting yourself on fire to keep him warm. He is either bored and doesn't care that he is annoying you, or is actively trying to control you. If you aren't a confrontational person and need an excuse as to why you can't take so many phone calls, tell him that your phone's battery is dying and doesn't last long. This allows you to hang up on him when you need to and gives you a plausible excuse to only pick up his calls when you want to because your phone was flat. This is some solid venting, and I'm glad you shared. Thank you. From someone with a family member like that, boundaries are possible and they do help. Tell him that from now on. For your own mental health, you will answer one call a day from him or one call every 2 days and stick to it. He will learn. Block and unblock as necessary. If he's struggling with his mental health, that might be the one thing he understands, saps. Listen, your own health needs to be a priority for you. Just like his well-being is a priority for him. Being mentally ill and being an asshole aren't mutually exclusive, and it sounds like he is both. I know I haven't been talking lately, my mum has cancer, and I'm afraid to tell you because 2 years ago when I was suicidal, you told me I was so negative you didn't want to be around me. And now you aren't safe to go to with bad news. It's such a great thing that you are still here. We all have negative and positive things about ourselves, and your positivity pulled you out of your dark place. Things are hard, but you are worth it. My cousin didn't have anyone he felt safe telling he was suicidal. He's 10 years younger than me and was 2,000 miles away from. If I could change one thing in my life, it would be that I called him more, just to check in. You are so loved. I'm so sorry someone was so horrible to you. I'm not suicidal, but I hope I die soon. I'm just sick of everything. Just sharing with you a perspective. My bestie was the same way. He got sick, didn't take care of himself. On my birthday, I had a welfare check on him and he was in a coma. He never came out of the hospital. His last 2 days, he sobbed to stay alive. He realized as much as shit as life can be. There were things he wanted to do again, foods he wanted to eat, people he wanted to hug, and sadly, he never got to. People will miss you big time, my friend. Don't let the bastards grind you down. I know my dad isn't my actual dad. Mum cheated on him and that's how I'm here. Can't tell anyone because of how I found out. But I consider the dad I've known my whole life to be my actual dad. Edit. Okay, I'll tell everyone how I found out. I don't know if my dad or grandparents on that side know. I suspect they do. Though, I started being suspicious some years ago when Mum would call my dad Mr. S on social media and to everyone not in our family. This confused me, as Dad's name does not start with S. I later learned my bio dad's name does start with S. I went snooping and found a chat between her and bio dad. She sent so many pictures of me through the years to him so he could keep up, asked him for money, etc. The snooping is why I can't say. I also learned from this that Mum was cheating with a lot of guys. She then went on a trip back to our home country. It was supposed to last for 2 weeks, but she kept making excuses and so on about why she couldn't come home. This went on for 8 months. The whole time people said she couldn't come home because of mental problems. Recently, my dad split up from her. I didn't ask him the reason or anything like this. And he's moved to a different country. We still talk. I'm meeting him at the end of October. My grandparents on that side have told me to keep in touch with them too. Edit part 2. Thank you everyone for your words and encouragement. I spoke to Dad over the phone today. He knew and kept it a secret from me because bio dad isn't a good person at all. After reading some replies, I'm going to visit my grandparents' dad's parents at Halloween right after I see Dad. I guess something good does come from this hell site. He is your dad. DNA is overrated. I have the DNA of my dad and he was an alcoholic psycho. My boss gave me a 500 bonus. Everyone in my life gets annoyed whenever I talk about work, so I have no one to celebrate with. Tip: never tell anyone you don't have to about any money you may receive. People get so ugly and envious, greedy and hateful. You wouldn't believe it. There is a Reddit thread somewhere around full of stories from people telling about receiving inheritances, bonuses and winning lotteries, and how awful their friends and family behaved as a result. So hush. Celebrate on your own. Buy yourself something nice or put it in the bank, but for God's sake, think twice about broadcasting the news that her husband tried to cheat on her with me. But considering he cheated on me with her, she totally should have seen it coming. She took your problem, not your man. I'm getting tested for cancer. They found a tumor back around April, and I'm waiting to see if it's grown dangerous. I've told a few people, but almost everyone I speak to daily doesn't know. Only a few trusted people. I just don't want it to become a big thing. And what am I even meant to say? I'm worried, but I literally cannot do a thing about it. My friend's husband is gay. Yeah, my friend's husband is gay too. My friend is also gay. So in their case, it's working out. I hate my dementia-ridden mother-in-law. I understand she is sick, but that doesn't take away from the abuse we receive and have no outlet for. Caregiving for someone with dementia is extremely difficult. I hope you have a good support system or the resources to place her into care. I hate my not dementia-ridden mother-in-law. I had a hysterectomy a few days ago and didn't tell anyone in my family. I'm 25 and don't want to deal with the "you're too young not married." How can you be sure you don't want kids BS? So I just plan on telling them I'm not able to if it ever comes up. As a male boomer by 3 months, I have an opinion. No here needs to hear it, regardless of what it is. You look after yourself. Only reason I don't kill myself is cause my mum. I lost my dad at 10 years old and struggle every day, but I couldn't imagine putting her through the kind of pain losing a child brings. My grandfather on my father's side never recovered from losing his only son. I'm the only man left with my last name in my family, and I still have to make them proud. Stay strong. You are needed. I love my spouse so much, more than I've loved anyone before, but he's not the person I married years ago. I've tried so hard to be a better version of myself. I went to grad school, I worked out nonstop, I went to therapy, and he hasn't put in the same effort as of the last few years. After he got some not so great health news, he's kind of given up on life. I've tried helping him over and over, but nothing has worked. I don't know what else to do, and I'm scared that if it continues, I'm going to check out mentally and emotionally. We've spoken about it, but no one else in our lives knows how bad it's gotten. I'm looking for a new job because my manager is a jealous, gaslighting bitch. I donate money to families in need at my kids' schools so that they can purchase school supplies and go on field trips free of charge. My kids know to not comment on how much cash I send with the permission slips. It's not thousands of dollars, but I hope I'm teaching my kids to do a good thing. When it's in your power to do so, what you do gives so many children peace and joy and is teaching your children a great lesson. Thank you. I worked in live events for many years. One day, I was working a gig which featured a famous sports star. The guy I was dating was a huge fan of this sports star and asked me if I could get an autograph. Ordinarily, I'd never do something like that, because it's a bit awkward to ask when you're both at work, but it was getting near the end of the night, and I figured I may as well ask his manager if it would be okay. His manager said the star was done for the night and heading out, but there was another guy in the entourage who usually signed the autographs anyway. I shrugged and said that would be fine too, so I got a cap signed by some random non-famous guy. I figured the guy that I was just casually dating would never know. Fast forward many years. The guy I was dating is now my husband. I still haven't told him. He'll go to his grave thinking that's a real autograph. I have a better sex life with my shower head than I do with my partner of 11 years. The shower head has been bringing pleasure for years to many around the world. It's a masterpiece, truly. That I've been severely depressed for years. I seem to have my life together on the outside, always cheerful, positive, and supportive to others. Then I go home and cry for no reason. Some weeks are very dark and I cancel all social plans because I don't have energy to interact. So I lie to my friends with fake excuses. I second this. To pretty much everyone on the outside, I am someone who appears to have it all together and will go out of my way to help others. On the inside, I am constantly screaming and have no one I can actually talk to about this, and isolate a lot under the guise that I am busy. I'm a 48-year-old virgin. Hey, same here, except I'm 35. People who find out are always genuinely shocked, and I'm honestly shocked that they're shocked. I mean, I've never met a single guy I like enough to let them touch me. Not interested in settling or losing my virginity just because society thinks I should. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, you are not alone. Because of a quirk of life, I have two friends who are virgins in their late 40s. It happens. I had a miscarriage a couple weeks ago. The mods on the miscarriage subreddit deleted my post and never responded to my message asking why. And now I'm covering my only co-worker's maternity leave, and I am so swamped at work and have a lot of confusing emotions and frustration regarding it. I just love how all of the stories here are either on September 3rd at 2:37 am I went to a truck stop and murdered someone in the bathroom, or my homemade cookies aren't homemade. Did they murder someone at a truck stop because they found out that the cookies aren't homemade? I once pretended to be asleep so I wouldn't have to share my fries. How that worked? I need to know the whole story cause I am imagining someone suddenly falling asleep on a McDonald's table and hugging their fries tight. It could be the cinema, but I have never seen anyone eating fries while watching a movie. I would have stole them from you while you were sleeping. With a clear conscience, since fries aren't good cold. My best friend was going through the motions of separating her most loved items and putting them in boxes for her nieces and nephews to have. They all wanted specific items from her, and she was leaving her oldest niece her car. I saw her doing this and sent her youngest niece in the room to invite her out the next day. Long story short, she's still here 10 years later. Wow, good on you for seeing the signs and giving her a reason. I will take this to the grave because I'm so ashamed. When Fast and the Furious 10 came out, I saw a Reddit thread discussing what they should have called it. The best one was Fast 10 Your Seat Belts. I laughed my butt off. Good job, OP, whoever you are. Anyways, my brother, we'll call Matt. His bestie, we'll call Casey. My daughter, we'll call May. And I were all going to see another movie. We were walking by the sign for FAF 10, and I said, they really missed an opportunity to call this fast 10 your seatbelts. All three of them fell over laughing. Like, literally. Casey and May were doubled over laughing. Matt was crying. I tried to play it off. Like you've never heard that before? But they laughed harder. They definitely believed that I made it up. I even tried to mumble something about Reddit, but they were laughing too hard to hear me. It's both one of my proudest moments because it was hilarious and most shameful because I never corrected them after they stopped laughing. I didn't realize what a big deal it would become. But now my brother apparently tells the story to everyone. He proudly regales them with my supposedly funniest moment. People don't believe I made it up, and he swears I did. I can't tell him because it would crush him. It's become one of his favorite stories, and I can tell he's both proud of me and jealous that he didn't think of it. But I didn't think of it. The guilt will send me to an early grave. And the kicker is that I'm a funny person. I say funny shit all the time. I just didn't think of this, and now I have to take it to the grave. Unless May reads this and instantly recognizes the story. Oh well, at least I confessed somewhere. I'm a piece of shit. Reddit, lol. I love you for having a conscience about this. Don't worry, person. You're good. I'm not allowed to fly or leave the continental United States after making a terroristic threat to a Google data center. I'm about to lose a job I absolutely love, nothing I've done. The company is about to fall apart. This is the first time I've lost a job and it feels like my whole world is falling apart. There's no actual date. We just know it's coming. I know it's just a job, but this job was my everything. My everyday. My genuine joy. And it's getting snatched away. The child I'm currently pregnant with isn't my first. I had 2 miscarriages beforehand, both very early on, one with my current husband and another with an ex. I was technically a teen with both, but still an adult, and I was too afraid to be open tell anyone. I try not to think about it anymore, but occasionally I do. It wrecked my mental health for a while. I know it's Reddit, but you're still brave for sharing that. Miscarriages are psychologically damaging for women, and you never forget it. Wishing you a healthy pregnancy and delivery. I'm so tired of life. I can't remember the last time I smiled. I'm only alive because I don't have the guts to hurt myself physically. I wish my sister hadn't changed her mind about having kids BC. I worry that she's incapable of being a good mother to my nibblings. And I want better for them than that. My parents can't stop drinking, and I don't really want to be friends with them anymore. But I feel guilty. It's been decades. In high school, my friend's dad got into a motorcycle and really fucked his face to. Like it looked like he got the shit beat out of him. He did, in fact, get into a motorcycle accident. But what my friend doesn't know is that he was driving someone else's wife around when he dumped the bike. And the husband was following them at the time. And when he saw them crash, he beat the shit out of the dad. My parents worked at the hospital he went to and knew the real story. Being on antidepressants after fighting it unmedicated for 33 years is the happiest I've ever been in my life. I'm also almost a month sober from alcohol, as I want to see what 30 days will do for me, and I know I'm a binge drinker. The people in my family have watched me destroy myself for their convenience over and over again, and I'm finally living for myself. I've also been back in therapy, almost a year come November, and I've never looked back. Sometimes I just pretend I'm okay. Because as long as my kid has the basics, that's all she needs to see. I don't have to tell her that I'm barely holding on. Working nights for 6 while quietly hoping one day a real job will come through. I desperately want to leave my current living situation with my husband, but don't know how. He is so emotionally needy that I have to answer long messages from him all day long. He's always afraid I'm mad at him. He also won't do anything without me grocery, shopping, going out to eat, etc. I'm also his whole identity. He has no interests of his own and talks about my interests with people he meets, like, it makes him unique. Worst of all, he threatens to kill himself if I don't give in and comfort him, and it is wearing me down tbh. I just had a vacation with a girlfriend where he thought I was unreachable via text, and it was like being in heaven. You are being blackmailed. If he makes threats like this, call 911 and have them take him in for a $5,150 mental health assessment that usually puts paid to the "I'm gonna kill myself if you leave" nonsense. My biological dad used to beat the shit out of me for refusing to clean his new family's house, specifically his 3 daughters' room. I'm glad he left the state when I was barely a teen and didn't tell me. What's sad is I have a second terrible thing, but I can't even admit it happened to me. To myself, I typed it out and erased it 3 times. I'm so sorry. That guy sucks. As for your other secret, you admitted it to yourself when you wrote it down, so you've already taken the first step toward healing. Give yourself grace. I was always naturally thin, could eat anything and now I'm older and my body isn't that way anymore. I'm fat for the first time in my life, and I can't believe how much it's affecting me. I lost 30 pounds, but then gained it all back and am heavier than ever before. I can feel how the world changed to see a fat girl, and how I can't see myself in so many public figures anymore. I used to just dance for fun, look in the mirror and feel happy. And there's no quick fix. I have to change my entire lifestyle forever to get back to that place. My therapist is focusing more on me loving myself at my current size, and I can't let it go to friends or my partner because they are all fat themselves, and I don't want them to feel bad about themselves. I used to love self-eyes. This makes me sound so vain, I know. I didn't have the perfect face or teeth, and I didn't wear makeup, but I felt joy when I looked at myself. And I had no conscious idea it had to do with size. I mean, I did know it had to do with that, but I thought I just loved myself as I was. I have stretch marks. I tried to start dieting again and it is so hard. But so many people go through this. How can I complain about getting stretch marks for the first time at 30 to anyone? I can feel how disappointed my parents are to see me now, because they try to stay healthy. I started paying attention to how my thin friends my age eat, and I see, my friend, be sure to only eat 1 breadstick, has to check the menu for calories, says no to my favorite processed treats, etc. I don't know if I want to live like that, but I don't have a choice. I either eat like a bird or I feel like this. I don't know. It's such a minor thing in the scheme, but I think about it every day. I'm crying writing this. Thank you for asking this so I can get this off my chest. My husband had a stroke many years ago. It affected his behavior so much that he had to move out of our home, leaving you to raise all 5 of our kids alone. 10 years later, he moved back in and can't understand why the kids don't know him or try to be around him.